Now, the UK's attempt to position itself as a tech powerhouse has received a boost with our scoop that we just discussed, OpenAI and NVIDIA setting to invest billions in data centers. But London is also keen to lure tomorrow's big companies to IPO in the city. Now, this week saw Swedish startup Klarna list its shares in New York, bypassing the London Stock Exchange. Well, one company that is optimistic about Britain's fintech sector is credit score provider ClearScore. Its CEO and founder, Justin Basini, joins us now. Justin, thank you for being here. So why are you optimistic about the UK? Or London specifically? Is it the UK or London?
UK generally, but fine. London as a market. UK is still a great place to start a business. We have fantastic universities, fantastic talent. And what you see in the fintech sector is you see a huge amount of great companies being created in the UK. Mm-hmm. And the Klarna IPO is a fantastic example of money being returned back into new companies that will get invested. And so what we need to see is we need to see that happening in the UK.
Are you not frustrated that they didn't IPO on the London Stock Exchange but decided to go for the US?
Well, I think, Klarna's a fantastic business and they'll make their own decisions. I think there are lots of reasons why one would think about listing in the UK. For ClearScore, we've just announced our results, so we're up 17%, up to 90 million in the UK, making close to 20 million of profit. And as we grow over the next few years, the UK will be a natural home for us, I think.
What's the most difficult thing to do if you're in the fintech space? Is it getting access to scale? Is it growing bigger? Is it having access to Europe? Is there anything that this government could do to make your life easier?
Yeah, I think the UK has done a great job over the last sort of 15 years of creating incentives to invest in startup companies, and we have a lot of startup companies here. The challenge for the UK now is how do you scale companies to be globally consequential? Mm-hmm. And so what needs to happen now is we need to see the cadre of companies like the ClearScore Group, but there are many who are now really starting to scale in the UK and internationally. We operate in 5 markets around the world, close to 26 million users. And what the government can do is really start to use, fast-track regulation, start to open up markets, support exporting, so that you can create these companies that are globally consequential.
Justin, I yet have to meet a CEO that likes any kind of regulation. But is this because there's too much regulation? Is it because it's the wrong kind of regulation? Or it's just there's too much red tape?
I think fintech is founded on regulation. So, you need to have strong regulators. You need to have the rules that are clear. I think what we would want is which I think this government is doing, is starting to really try and get coordinated regulation and to try and speed it up so that decision making is quicker and so that we have more confidence that we can move through into other vectors of growth, and the regulator is going to support us in that.
Are you seeing quite a lot of pool of capital from outside? Again, we look at the budget. It was last year. We have a new budget November 26. Some of the things that are just applied to companies, how much of a setback is that for fintechs, given you may want money from big US investors or pension funds?
I mean, the UK is still a great place to raise money. All of the major funds around the world invest both privately and in the public markets in the UK. And so you still get a huge amount of access. Obviously, anything that hits profitability or potential profitability means that you need to factor that into your plans. But the UK still has a huge capital base. I think one of the things that the Chancellor could do, and we're very interested in, is bringing retail money, more pension money into private capital, private companies.
Which they're trying to, right?
They are
Is that fair? Is it making a difference? I mean, it's like 5-6 months old.
I mean, I've spoken to 4 or 5 of the major pension funds in the UK over the last 6 months as we start to think about IPO and as we start to think about bringing those institutional investors on board. And they're interested in companies which grow and also return profitability. And that, something like the ClearScore Group and many of the other fintechs have that real sort of balance between high growth and profitability, which I think is important for success in the UK market.
Can you find the right people to hire?
Access to talent is always a challenge, but we have to remember that the UK still has a great set of potential employees, great universities, a great skills base. We need to continue to invest there and we need to continue to support that.
Just how do you think about the skill space going forward? Again, with AI, I mean, there are a lot of kids at university that don't really know what what the jobs of tomorrow will be. Some of the doomsayers say, look, there are only 5 real jobs that will stay as is from what we know now. How do you see your workforce developing in the next 10, 15 years?
I'm actually super excited about it. You know, you see, like, the bedrock of any good economy is innovation. And the ability to create new ideas and to execute them now, given AI, the barriers to entry are so much lower than ever before. And so I spent time in universities, and you can see all of these young people, hugely talented, able to execute their ideas very, very quickly. And so I think AI is going to be a real driver of productivity. And I think if you can combine it into your company with really talented people, that's the sweet spot.
You hear in the corridors of power that actually there could be a brain drain from the US into the UK because it's an English-speaking country, because some of the things that the Trump administration is doing with universities. Is that true, or is it wishful thinking?
I think from the conversations that I have at universities, they are seeing applications from US students and academics increase over the last year, and I think that's a great thing. The UK still has an incredible university sector, some of the best universities in the world, and so that talent coming to the UK, I think, is going to be a great thing.
Justin, what can I see for ClearScore? So what are you expecting? What are your targets over the next 18 months and then for 3 and 5 years?
Yeah, over the next 3 years, we want to double the business. So we want to move towards 50 million users. We want to move into other markets. We think there's still a lot of opportunity in the UK. That will take us up to close to sort of 250 million pounds of revenue and 50, 60 million pounds of profit. We think at that stage that is a very, very exciting prospect for institutional investors. And we might think about an IPO. We're not slavish about that, but we think that might be a really exciting future for ClearScore Group.
Are you thinking, where would you list?
London.
No question.
I mean, we'll look at everywhere else, but, you know, we have a UK franchise. We're a well-known brand in the UK. 75% of my revenue comes from the UK. And I think our combination of, as I said, growth and profitability will be very attractive to UK institutional investors.
So good. Justin, thank you so much for joining us. Justin Basini there, a Chief Executive and Co-Founder of ClearScore.